Hi, thank you so much for coming in today. I was in desperate need of a new model just to do more portraits and whatnot. I think you'll be a perfect fit for me. So I'm doing more of a kind of abstract design for it. It's kind of taking the realistic sense of it and how you do look, and then kind of adding my own little twist on it. Let's see here. So I like to use quite a lot of abstract colors for my design, you could say. So I'm going to do like the general, more realistic version first and then add some stuff to it after, okay? Yeah. I'm going to take a quick little before photo of you, just so I have a little bit of a comparison, just to show kind of who I'm drawing and kind of like the history behind it. Definitely I guess you'd say more outspoken, different perspective. Let's see. Okay, hold still for me. I'll do one more. Look a little bit this way. And then a little bit to the right. Perfect. Just reference photos in case I have to show my professor if we want to put it out and whatnot. Okay. Now, have you ever had a portrait done before? So the main thing you just need to do is try to stay as still as possible for me. I'll try to do this as quick as possible, just so I don't have to keep you too long. However, it does take a little bit. Let's see. You have a bit of a wider bottom face. Let's see. Typically, when I look for someone to draw, it's more fun if I find someone that has more unique features. It adds more to the design, to the, say, depth of the drawing. Adds a bit more personality. Let's see. Your ears look a little bit pointy. You can kind of play with that for a bit. So since I'm not doing your mouth right now, you can talk as much as you want. Getting the general outline done for like structure, sizing, and whatnot. You do have sharper features, which add a bit to your overall contrast. Let's see here. You have a wider second, third, so I'll move this, okay. What do you really do for fun? Any fun hobbies? Anything I kind of like bring into this? Like if you go swimming a lot, I can add more blues, try to like connect that. Okay. You can do something with that. Your nose is a bit more. Okay. Look a little bit to the left for me. Let's see. Okay, hold still for me. Okay. And just for the length. Perfect. Sometimes it's hard to see if it's more on the average, but more on the longer side. Unless if you actually do the measurements. Well, typically speaking, since not everyone is exactly symmetrical, it's constantly differing between them. As I mentioned, kind of a bigger lower third here, so it's fun to kind of work around that. And just keep your mouth closed for a second. Seems like your bottom lip is a little bit larger. Okay. Maybe it's a personal notice for me, but I do tend to find that the longer I'm looking at someone, the more difficult it is to continue drawing them. I feel like I'm looking more at exactly like how long your mouth is, the exact dimensions, more of the shapes. While it kind of is, you can say proportional or designed well for your face, it still is a different and unique version to draw of someone. Okay. think that's a decent outline I have going. Fix up your nose a little bit, and then we'll go in a little bit more detail for your eyes. And then we can add a bit more of the abstract sense of it. Let's see. A little bit of a cupid's bow. So we'll shade that in for your nose. Seem more squarish. Okay. Your eyelashes do seem quite long. Do you use anything for them? Serum. You know, I feel like the eyebrows are something that always kind of makes or breaks a look for someone. I think it is coming along quite nicely right now. A little bit on the more angled side. Okay. And for your hair, let's see. I feel like for your face, because I mean, there is proper measurements you can do to figure out if long hair suits you more, if you look a bit better in short hair and whatnot. But I think what you have going on works quite well for you. Let's see. Shorter hairline. More squarish. Do you tend to have any hair kind of falling in front of your face? And how do you feel about that? Definitely. Well, we can kind of work with that. Do you part it always right there, or do you have it more to one side, a bit more in the middle? Okay. Well, I think that's quite good for the outline at the moment. Let's see. I think it looks quite accurate. Not too far off. I mean, definitely not as good as the original, but we'll go in with the outlining and we'll get that all nicely done. Let's see here. For me, it's the most stressful part. It either makes or breaks drawing. I mean, I think I've said this already, but you have a very unique face. Something that isn't the easiest to draw. You have a lot of detail and depth to it. Which I find is quite nice. I tend to notice a lot of people have a very similar looking face lately. Just of everything. The styles, the trends, and whatnot. It's good to have some originality and differences in it. Do you have any also like freckles? It's a little hard to see at this angle, so I thought it'd be better to ask. Just in case. Okay, so I have the general outline of you for the realism aspect of it, which I do think looks quite spot on. However, for the actual more abstract aspect of it, I'm going to be adding more shapes. It has almost like a replacement, more of a unique twist. Is there anything that speaks to you? A certain color, a certain time, a certain location? Okay. I feel like with your hair, it's something that you can always experiment with and change. From having a different haircut to dyeing in a different color. It's always something that you have more creative liberty with. I mean, it's not something that you have to change or whatnot. You don't have to do anything to your appearance if you don't want to. But I feel like it's a cool freedom to be able to change it and alter it if you want to. I'm sorry, did you mention that you had any freckles? I was thinking if you do, we can make them into like little stars. Maybe like hearts, any constellations. See, you definitely have a more sharp look. I wanted to originally add a bit more triangles, squares, more quote unquote harsher shapes, like triangles for your eyelashes, which I think would be quite cute. Or we can replace your nose and add more of a boxy, squarish look. Maybe we can turn on something else. So what did you say your hobbies were again? Alright. Can incorporate that in. Your eyes. What color is that? Can't really tell. It looks a little bit on the darker side, but that might be the lighting. Do you have any pets? Cat, dog? Okay. I always felt like having a pet snake or a ferret would be quite fun. I feel like it depends on both an individual of what they prefer and just how they can connect with the animal. I feel like it represents a lot of who you are. Okay, so I have most of the, say, color added, the outline redone, all of that. I'm just gonna add the final little touch for the shading and then we should be all done. little bit around the nose. You know, I feel like this is representing you quite well. I'll finish that up for the shading. Okay, perfect. I'm going to take a comparison photo quickly to have a side-by-side. Let's see here. One of the drawing, and then we'll do one of you. Okay. Look straight. Do one more. Let's see. Okay. I think that'd work. Although I won't be able to send you the original, we can send you a printed copy if you'd like. Let's get signature on there. A dated and the subject's name. Okay. And how do you spell that? Perfect. Well, I really do appreciate you allowing me to sketch you. I think you're quite the ideal subject for this. The perfect model. I'll submit this and I'll send over a copy for you, just in case you decide to put it up, have it, or just for the memories. Well, I truly appreciate you again. I hope you have a lovely night, and thank you again for coming in.